Welcome to College Football Week 12 update. Yeah, we had some crazy moments, including the one that I'll talk about in a minute. Let's start with Clemson winning it 20-19 over 20th ranked Louisville. Adam Randall, 15 carries, 105 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Clemson gets a huge win, of course, on the road against a team that is coming off a tough loss at home against Cal. And now that's back-to-back home losses for the Louisville Cardinals. The biggest story is 30-3. Sometimes we could go 28-3, but then now it's 30-3. The Gamecocks blew a 27-plus comeback win as A&M wins 31-30. And yes, I know I'm wearing my Gamecocks shirt. I'm not a fan. I'm just wearing it for this video. Marcel Reed, 22 out of 39, 39 passing yards, but 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and now could we be for real with Texas A&M? I say yes, but if they're going to get to the SEC title game, they need to win their last conference game, and their last conference game is going to be Texas, which is by 2 weeks or 3 weeks, if I'm right or wrong. But anyways, that game will be huge. So right now, Sanford, they should take care of business. But then next week, after this week, they got to lock in against Texas, and it's going to be played in Austin. They need to win to clinch their spot to the SEC title game. And who knows, will they play Georgia? Will they play Ole Miss? Will they play Alabama? We'll see, but I do think Texas A&M is for real. Marcel Reed is playing very good football. Mike Elko deserved that extension on that 6-year extension. Well deserved for him. But they got to finish the season strong. And I think it starts with next week, not Sanford, next week against Texas on the road. Number 11, Oklahoma upsets Alabama 23-21. Kemp Lewis, 7 total tackles, 7 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. Oklahoma upsets Alabama, in which Bama needed to win this game and then 2 weeks from then go to Auburn and win to lock in their spot. But now it seems that Oklahoma upsets Bama. Oklahoma looks like they're going to be ready for potentially going to the playoffs. And Alabama right now, they're in a rare position because I don't know if this scenario works. If they beat Auburn, I'm guessing they go directly to the SEC title game. But with Georgia now in second place, now it looks like they're going to need some help. They're going to probably need maybe Georgia Tech to upset Georgia. And if that happens, despite the loss, it is not a conference game. Alabama needs to win their conference game against Auburn. And if they do, I don't know. Maybe Alabama's going back to Atlanta. Texas, yikes, got horned down after a 35-10 loss to Georgia. Garner Stockton, 24 out of 29, 229 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Georgia now in second place in the SEC. As I just mentioned, they have a chance to lock in their spot if Texas A&M loses to Texas, which I don't know what kind of scenario that is. But for Texas, yeah, so they're out of the picture of the SEC title game. Now the question is, for tomorrow's playoff committee, how far they're going to drop down. We know that they came in the top 10 last week. Of course, the playoff committee felt like Texas playing very good football. But here is the but. They need to improve themselves if they can win a big-time football game. And I think when they play A&M, I just mentioned with A&M, they're going to need to win that game. I do think Texas needs this more than Texas A&M because they want to make sure they're in the playoffs. Because again, one more time, a playoff game needs to happen for Texas, and a must-win game against A&M. It's a huge game for them. But with that being said, Georgia, congratulations. But one more mistake in these non-conference games, and I don't know, maybe you're out of the playoffs. Notre Dame did not make any mistakes. 37-15 over Pitt. Jeremiah Love, 23 carries, 147 rushing yards, and a touchdown as the Fighting Irish should win their last few games and probably clinch their spot to the playoffs. Georgia Tech. Yeah, that game was a little scared. 36-34 over Boston College. Malik Rutherford for 5 receptions, 121 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. Boston College. 2 more games, of course. I guess 2 more games. If not, their next game will be a home game against Georgia, and that will be huge because it's not a conference game, by the way. It's going to implicate their overall record. I thought Iowa would upset this game, but no. USC prevails 26-21 over Iowa. Mikal Lemon, 10 receptions, 153 receiving yards, and a touchdown as USC will go this week to Eugene, Oregon in a big showdown against the Oregon Ducks. That is going to be a huge game that has a lot of implications in the Big Ten. Speaking of implications, Michigan win 24-22 over Northwestern. Jordan Marshall, 19 carries, 142 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Michigan, just one more win, and then by the time they go to, 10-2, they play Ohio State in Ann Arbor. Woof. Virginia bounced back with a 34-17 win over Duke. Fisher Kamak, 6 total tackles, 3 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 2.5 tackles for loss. As Virginia, yeah, that was a must-win game, and they got it against Duke. South Florida was ranked, but unfortunately got upset by Navy, 38-41. Alex Texa, 12 carries, 126 rushing yards, and a touchdown. Navy goes 8-2 overall, and I'm guessing 6-1 overall, 6-1 in the conference. Arizona upsets 25th ranked Cincinnati, 30-24. Noah Fafia, 23 out of 31, 294 passing yards and a touchdown. Cincinnati, their chances of a Big 12 title hopes may be faded away. Arizona State wins 25-23 over West Virginia. Jeff Sims, 19 out of 28, 207 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Arizona State looks very good with Jeff Sims at quarterback. Here are the other games that happened in Week 12. Oregon takes down Minnesota 42-13. Number 2, Indiana 31-7 over Wisconsin. Texas Tech was just, after the big win last week against BYU, they still managed to dominate. They win 48-9 over UCF. Ole Miss prevails in a 10-point win, 34-24 over Florida. BYU gets back on track, 44-13 over TCU. Their rivals, Utah, get a 55-28 win over Baylor. Wake Forest takes down the Tar Heels 28-12 after their impressive win on the road to Virginia. Miami gets a 41-7 win over NC State. LSU has clinched their bowl eligible this year with a 23-22 win over Arkansas. New Mexico takes down Colorado State 20-17. Terrell Lewis, or I think I got it, Terry Lewis, if I'm right or wrong, the interim head coach of Pitt State, finally got his first win as the interim head coach with a 28-10 win over Michigan State. Illinois takes down Maryland 24-6, and they confirmed today that their head coach will remain in the program for 2026. JMU. I'm seeing what you're doing over there, James Madison University. 58-10 over App State. And what probably was the biggest surprise, NC State 31-27 win over it versus against Memphis. Wow, that East Carolina, great job of pulling the upset against Memphis. Wow, that was a big time win for you guys. That's it for my college football week 12 update. If you have not seen my other videos, go check them out on my channel. Of course, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more sports news. And yes, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.